Hey, it's Glen Hopkins here, and I just wanted to share with you a quick story which actually turned out to be a business lesson that I shared with my boys just a few days back that I'm sure many of you can relate to. And it ties directly into what we do, or probably rather what we should be doing with our online businesses to find success. And the story was in regards to their papers. I have two young children, Kyle and Connor, who are 11 and 12 years old, and they have a paper route. They go around to the neighborhood and deliver the local paper twice a week. And yesterday I was out in the garage watching them sort their papers. And when they get their papers, every once in a while, they get not just their newspaper to deliver, but a tandem that goes along with it. So that tandem might be a real estate newspaper or something of that nature. In any case, they had, I guess, about 5 stacks of the regular newspaper scattered throughout the garage, and 5 stacks of the tandem scattered throughout the garage. And they had cut open each individual bundle, and they were sorting those papers, putting them together into their paper cart. They have these little carts that they push around to deliver the papers, to carry their papers in. And so watching them was kind of painstaking, because what would happen is these bundles of newspapers and bundles of tandems were all over the garage in no particular order. They were not organized at all. And so they'd pick up a newspaper in one pile, then they'd sort of scramble over to another pile somewhere in the garage and pick up a tandem and put those two papers together. Then they'd walk over to their newspaper cart and put those papers into their newspaper cart. And then they'd go back, grab another newspaper, walk over to the other pile, grab a tandem, put the two together, walk over to their newspaper cart and put it into their newspaper cart. Now, they deliver to, I think it's 98 houses in our neighborhood that they deliver the newspaper to. So they repeated this process, or would have repeated this process, 98 times. And in fact, they've been doing this for a number of months, and I just realized it yesterday that they're taking this very time-consuming method of organizing their newspapers. Now, what does this matter to you? Well, let me just say what I shared with them. First of all, what I did was I shared with them a method of organizing their papers and putting them together much quicker. But before doing that, I asked them about how do they think they might be able to make more money in less time while delivering their newspapers. And of course, they had that puzzled look on their face. And you know, as adults, we all know that time is money, right? And this is what I was trying to teach them. So what I taught them was how to organize their papers in such a way that they would be able to put them all together much quicker and get them into their carts much quicker, and hence, you know, out into the neighborhood delivering those papers and you know, getting the entire job from A to Z done in less amount of time, and thus making a better wage. So I showed them a process of doing that. Luckily, you know, I was a paper boy many years ago, and I figured this out myself. Not rocket science or anything, but to a kid, it's a, you know, a light bulb that goes off. So I shared with them how to organize their papers faster and thus make more money in less time. Now, you know, what's this mean to us? I mean, here's where I'm coming from here, guys. I started relating it to business and the clients that I talk to on a regular basis, and I know that many of us feel a sense of overwhelm. You know, every day you're inundated by emails coming into your email box, you know, offering you the latest, greatest, shiny object. And we get hooked up on that. We get caught up on that, and we want to buy all these shiny objects and learn all these new methods of driving traffic and building our lists and doing SEO and social media and you know, you name it, YouTube marketing. There's so many different elements to creating a business and doing a business, or rather, people think there are so many different elements to creating a successful business, and therefore they get caught up in it and they get overwhelmed, and they end up trying to do too many things. So what I would like to suggest to you is that you kind of fire yourself from doing non-profit generating tasks, okay? You don't need to be doing SEO or copywriting or list building or traffic generation or product creation or all of these things. In fact, you only need to do a small number of them to find success with your online business. As a matter of fact, if you try to do all of them, which many people do, you will inevitably fail. Okay, there's just far too much out there. It's so important that you start to decrease your input and increase your output. In other words, stop trying to learn and do so many things other than the core content, the things that need to be done. Focus on doing a short list of things. So what I would suggest you do is create a list of priorities of the things that you need to get accomplished in a day, and then label that list A, B, or C. So each task on that list will be labeled either an A, a B, or a C. And the A's, of course, are the most important tasks. The B's are less important, and the C's are still less important. And you want to accomplish the A's first. So every morning when you wake up, you'll have your list of to-dos, and you'll see your A's first, and you will tackle those A's first and foremost, because those A's, again, are or should be your profit-producing tasks, things that are going to make you money, okay? And then pretty much the rest of it can either be outsourced or not even done at all. It's surprising what you don't have to do to be successful online, okay? So again, guys, it's about less input and more output, getting more done, creating more products, making more offers, sending more emails, doing more marketing, the things that are actually going to bring customers to you and sales to you, all right? So, success can be very easy if you have a simple plan, but you need a plan. It's, going back to the newspapers, if you don't have a plan of attack, if you don't have an organized system or a proven plan of getting something accomplished, your chances of success are far, far slimmer. The fact is, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. I mean, we've all heard that before, but it's so true. And think about that and say that to yourself, because it's so key. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So I've got to ask you, what's your plan? I mean, do you even have one? Do you know where you're going? I mean, do you know how to get where you're going? I mean, it boggles my mind how many people don't actually have a plan. And if you don't have a plan, how the hell do you expect to get where you want to get? Okay? I mean, you wouldn't attempt to drive from New York to Los Angeles without a roadmap, would you? Yet in business, so many people try to, get to where they want to go without any kind of a map or a plan, and it's absolute insanity. Guys, success in business and really in anything, to succeed in anything, you have to have a plan, and better yet, a proven plan. And that's why it's so important that you find a mentor. And when I say a mentor, I mean simply someone who has already achieved what it is you hope to achieve, because then success becomes really simple. I mean, all you have to do is model what they do and then do it for yourself. Model their plan, model their actions, and do it for yourself. And it only makes sense that you should indeed find yourself gaining the same results. I mean, whether it's a kid modeling a system for sorting newspapers, like their dad teaches them, or literally anything else. One of the analogies that I like to share oftentimes with my clients is the apple pie analogy. And I ask, who out there knows how to bake an apple pie? And, of course, some people would, but a lot of the people that are in my marketplace don't know how to bake an apple pie. And I ask them, well, if you had a professional baker standing next to your side showing you how to bake an apple pie, but not only that, he gave you a recipe, step by step, detailing everything you need to do, all the ingredients that you need for the apple pie, and the directions on how to bake the pie, do you think you would be able to create a wonderful apple pie? You followed the directions from A to Z. You had the master baker standing beside you, step by step, showing you how to do it. Do you think you'd be able to create an apple pie? I mean, of course you would be, right? It's not that hard if you have a proven plan and a mentor showing you how to do it. Never would you end up with a cherry pie. It would always be an apple pie, and of course you could do it, all right? So, listen, if this is making any sense to you and you realize that you don't actually have a plan for your business, I'd like to invite you to a webinar that I'm doing where I'll walk you through my business plan, the one that I personally use and that I teach to my inner circle students, to build a real online business, a real business that can bring in $10,000 per month in passive income. Okay? Now, this plan is simple, by the way. It's just 4 easy steps, and I'll explain them to you in the webinar, and I'll even show you proof of how effective it is. Okay? But again, success comes down to modeling. So find a person who has achieved what it is you want to achieve and model them and their actions. Can you do that? Can you do that? I mean, of course you can. So I encourage you, if you are looking to build a successful business in 2013 online, and if you've been struggling in any way up until this point, I'd like to be able to offer you my help. And again, invite you to a webinar that I'm holding, teaching you exactly how I do it and how I teach my inner circle clients to do it. And you can attend that webinar and register for that webinar by going to www.10kwebinar.com. This is Glen Hopkins, and I hope to see you there. Bye for now.